Going to have a look at what's grabbing the headlines now here in France. We're beginning with Catherine Viette today with some accusations of human rights violations by Amnesty International, these accusations, aren't they?
That's right. Since the terrorist attacks in November, France here, as you remember, has been under a state of emergency. It's for 3 months, already been extended. And again, it's set to expire the end of this month. And Hollande, of course, wants to extend it once more. He needs parliamentary approval to do this. And as Le Monde reports, Amnesty International is speaking out against this extension. It says that, sometimes extraordinary powers are needed in the wake of things like the terrible terrorist attacks in November, but they shouldn't become the new status quo. And that placing people under house arrest, searching homes, banning demonstrations, all of this, if they continue to go on, they've led to human rights abuses here, and Amnesty International is accusing the government of enforcing them arbitrarily.
And there's more negative headlines from the government you found as well.
Yes. The other big debate here with the extension of the powers is the idea of stripping French nationality from French citizens who are convicted of terrorist attacks. And François Hollande is coming under fire for pushing forward with these plans to strip nationality. It's very controversial. The front page of Libération has a photo of Hollande with the words, stop déchéance, which is meaning stripping, in this case, the stripping of nationality across his face. The paper says that this measure is aggravating those both on the right and the left in the government, and it's nothing but a symbolic measure that's going to prove ineffective, and it's spoiling the debate. And if we move on inside the paper in their editorial, it calls it nothing more than a calculated political move. Le Figaro also weighing in. It's asking that what sort of chance does this measure have to be passed, answering that support for the controversial measure is indeed dwindling. And inside, it takes a look at all the sort of political maneuvering and jockeying that's been going on into the language that needs to go into the document in the effort of party leaders to get their members in line. And finally, Aujourd'hui in France has a cartoon, and the cartoon features the new justice minister, and he's attached to a big ball and chain. That ball there, again, with the word déchéance, which is referring to stripping of nationality, and he's clutching a file, and he's saying, well, that this actually is a sentence that will be for the general good.
OK, we can but hope. Now let's move on. There's some other government news that you're pulling out of the papers as well.
That's right. Le Figaro is reporting that it's time for the government to do a reshuffle. So this is when the president assigns ministers to different positions. So the paper is saying that, Hollande's going to use this to weed out some ministers and to promote some others. And the paper is reporting that it looks like possibly Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius may be on the move to lead the Constitutional Council. And the big question then becomes who will replace him. And the paper is saying that it looks like Ségolène Royal may be in the running for that. She's the current environment minister, and the paper says that she really proved herself at the Paris climate talks that were held here. However, the French radio station RTL is reporting that the former Prime Minister, Jean-Marc Ayrault, is also in the running, so we'll have to see how that shakes out there.
OK, and Le Croix has an interesting article you found about city planning.
That's right. La Croix, that's the Catholic newspaper here, is reporting on how French cities are trying to reinvent themselves. It says that Bordeaux and Lyon have launched all these sort of ambitious urban projects to change the landscape, to make it more, 21st century friendly. But Paris, while it does have grand ambitions, it's hampered by a lack of space here, so that limits what it can do.
OK, no doubt though she'll come up with some projects anyway. Thank you very much, Catherine. Catherine, yeah, with the papers here on France 24. Very shortly, we're going to bring you all the latest news and the latest, of course, on those Syrian peace talks. And in focus as well, we're going to be following the plight today of Syrian refugees in Lebanon. There, 1 in 5 people, in fact, are Syrian. Hundreds of thousands forced into hiding, unable to work or travel. Their children, many of whom are now born stateless. That's our special report in the next half an hour here on France 24.